All right, now we are live. Hello. Um, oh no, internet connection is unstable. I have to try to fix that. Let's see. Improvising here. It's probably still recording my audio. Hopefully, this will cause a little bit of a glitch. Hi, thank you for tuning in to this random episode that I am generating through my Substack. And I call this title Human Connection and Subjective Perceptions. It's always nerve wracking to put yourself in front of the camera and you your brain automatically clicks sometimes without you even wanting to talk performatively and to present yourself in a certain way, and I'm just doing my best to show up authentically, organically, as humanely and humanly as possible. I don't want to be perceived as someone that is perfect and has it all together. Um, as I share my thoughts through this platform, my presentation has seemed maybe a bit rigid. Sometimes the topics I present are maybe too academic leaning. I try to do my best to bring about sharing experiential knowledge. And I've really tried to reflect on this. There are a lot of amazing humans putting themselves out there, being vulnerable, having the courage to share their thoughts and things they care about. And I'm trying to operate from that realm. I did realize that I'm sort of operating through a very strategic stance of wanting to appear intellectual or wanting to ensure that people out there are viewing me through a certain light. Um, and, that is the approach of branding, right? Building your brand, trying to represent who you are. And you have to navigate through these things carefully because the reality is that when you have all the wonderful, chaotic humans viewing us through their own filters of values and perceptions that they have, something doesn't sit right or something lands a certain way, and it may be misconstrued. So I'm doing my best to navigate this through where I'm staying true to myself, but also ensuring that I am trying to present my ideas and my communication that feels inclusive. Um, I'm trying here. And to keep this short, as I don't have much time to record this, and I'm doing this in a very random, spontaneous way. As some of you know, at least the people in my community and my friends that do tune into these things and listen to this, you guys know that I'm involved in medicine work, and some of you may understand what that is. And if you don't, that's okay. You can see it as work that I am doing to reconfigure my inner engineering with towards healthy dimensions and constructs and structures where it's not always been. And I think that as we get older and we become more aware of the world and ourselves, it is our responsibility, right? We have to take responsibility for ourselves and how we show up in the world and really examine the systems and the culture we exist in, and make sure that we are trying to co-create something healthy than what's been presented in the previous generations. And what has been a really interesting thing to me with human connection and subjective perceptions is that how much they are interdependent, and uh, they do overlap a lot in how we form perceptions of ourselves and what allows us to connect to the broad spectrum of neurodiversity and ethnicities and just wonderful um, streams of culture and perspectives. Human connection has been an interesting journey for me. Um, as I navigate this world where I am able to get more control of my life and have more autonomy on what I am able to sovereignly expose myself to and follow my heart and putting myself in environments where I do get to experience different ideas and different people. One of the things I've tried to understand is how our biology, our values come into play that allow us to connect to, right, the various realms around us, people, ideas, what's possible, um, expanded awareness. And personally, for me, I connect with a broad spectrum. I try to. And I think that we sometimes limit ourselves based on these categories. Oh, we can only connect because it is what is instilled upon us and what we get comfortable with. Oh, I am only allowed to or only can connect with people that are same age as me, or people that are the same skin color as me, people that speak like me, or costumes we wear, as some of the indigenous leaders say. Um, and we limit ourselves in that realm. We don't realize that connection happens at the level at where what we allow ourselves to. We sometimes block ourselves, we put these walls. And just because I'm saying this does not mean that I have conquered this and that now I can magically maneuver through all of it with no trouble. um and this is what I noticed. And we do have to understand that within this human lifespan that we have, we're never going to look the same. We will look different in different phases of our, right, our lifespan, our life forms. I will certainly not look this way. I will look wrinkly one day. And I think it's really important for us to form a culture with an open heart where we can do our best at the end of the day, when it comes to morals and ethics, to try to connect at a soul level, to do our best too. Um, because I think ultimately that will allow us to sort of transcend how we navigate human connection. And it's not a perfect process. I'm not perfect at it either. They're not admitting that I am an absolute best at this. And hopefully, what I am trying to convey here makes sense. I certainly, what I've examined is that my own perception about myself that was instilled within me blocked me from really opening and connecting also. I think that it's really important for us to be able to see ourselves through an objective lens to the best of our ability, because we can be so clouded um, by layers of who we've been told that we are, who I've been told that I am, that I'm supposed to be, where I don't see myself clearly, see the objective version of me versus who I've been told I am, which is basically limiting beliefs. And it's a painful process to overcome that. Um, and being involved in medicine work is not some magic pill. It's not. It's actually extremely hard work. It requires you to sit with extremely hard feelings, and it requires a lot of grit to go deep. But it is such rewarding work to be able to do that work, because you truly are, it's a ripple effect. You're not just doing that work for yourself by living a self-examined life, let's articulate it that way. You truly are, it certainly has a quantum effect on everything around us, and it's important work. And with that said, I don't know how this transmission is going to be received and how it's going to land for people, but I'm trying to do it imperfectly and not trying to overthink things. And when we overthink and we try to make it perfect, we don't execute. I'm really trying to fight that and allow for us to show up in imperfect ways. But it's what is important is our true intention and the heart that we're showing up with, that should definitely be accounted for. And it's a work in progress. We can certainly recalibrate, fine tune ourselves, and refine ourselves further. And that is what I advocate for myself and everyone else. And I'm hoping that by me trying to embody that, um, that, it may, that it's okay to do that. Uh, Thank you for tuning in. I will end this transmission here, and wishing you peace and courage. And don't be afraid to be yourself, but also, don't just be yourself willy nilly. Pay attention to how being yourself affects others and the environment.